Today, the House managers hammered out their case for Article 1 in the simplest terms possible. Here's how House Manager Jerry Nadler presented it this morning.
In contemporary terms, the framers had three specific offenses in mind: abuse, betrayal, and corruption. The framers believed that any one of these standing alone justified removal from office.
Susan Del Percio is here. She's a Republican strategist and MSNBC political strategist. Michael STARR Hopkins, a Democratic strategist who worked on the Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and John Delaney presidential campaigns. Susan, first to you. House Manager Nadler laying out his ABCs there. What do you think of that strategy?
It's a smart strategy because as much as if we've been watching this all day,
yes,
people are still tuning in throughout the day. So that's why we have the repetition. And I think that he actually today really emphasized why you need to pay attention to the details to get that message across. And perhaps he wasn't as aggressive as the last day or two, which was probably to his credit.
You agree? Was it good that Nadler toned it down a little bit? And do you like the ABCs?
It was good and it was simple. Every criminal defense attorney will tell you simplicity is how you get it done. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep,
That's always the rule.
That applies to so many cases. I love it.
That's always the rule. And I think Republicans now are starting to get boxed in because the case is becoming overwhelming. And so the question that's going to be asked of them now is, are you more afraid of Donald Trump or are you in support of our democracy? And that's a question that's going to be very difficult for them because the president is going to hit them no matter what.
Another tactic that House managers have used is this repetition, right? A lot of what we're hearing we have heard before. I know the Republicans have criticized them for that, but is that to the benefit of the people watching? Is that to the benefit of even some of the senators sitting there who may have been doing other things during the House inquiry?
Absolutely, because some people are watching on Twitter, some people are watching on cable news, some people are watching later after they get off work. And so what they're doing is making sure that throughout the day they're hitting those same points over and over again so that people can be reminded and people who are new to this process can be updated for the first time.
Susan, we know the president's team can't say anything until Saturday. The president, though, has busied himself on Twitter over the last couple of days, and every time there's a break, his legal team takes an opportunity to talk to the press. Do you think those are wise moves, or do you think that they should be using their time between now and Saturday differently?
Oh, they have to do that because of who their client is. I mean, that's really kind of straight to the point. Donald Trump would be furious if his people weren't out there at every opportunity. This is already very difficult for him to watch them cede the time to the Democrats for 3 days. So that absolutely must happen. But just follow up quickly on one point Mike made. It's so important to recognize this ABC, keep it simple, and the effect it has on the senators.
Okay.
Because it's an argument that makes sense. It's very tangible. Whereas every time, to your question about when the president's managers go out there, they're convoluting like everything, and people don't really know what they're saying except that it doesn't sound, that it may not be impeachable, but
Danny Savalos said just a moment ago that he wasn't sure that what Jay Sekulow said, that he had even said anything. He said it felt a little circular.
There you go. Well, maybe that's what they're doing because they just have to try and keep Donald Trump just at bay and have him not go too far if they can at all avoid it.
Michael, Senator Lindsey Graham said this today to the press pen. I'd like to play it.
He's saying somebody needs to be looking at the Bidens. He told me that yesterday. The president believes that what happened in the Ukraine with the Bidens was inappropriate. Now, whether or not that will withstand scrutiny, I don't know. The president believes that the Ukraine interfered in our election. I can tell you without any doubt, it was the Russians who hacked into the DNC. It was not the Ukrainians.
All right, I'd like to get both of your reaction on this. Michael, I'm going to start with you, but this is something that has been proven false time and time and time again, that the Ukraine did not interfere with our elections. Why does this talking point continue to come up? Why will it not die?
Because it's convenient. It's something that's played in conservative news, and it gives people a confirmation bias. But what I will say is Lindsey Graham had a devastatingly bad day today. When Democrats continuously showed that video of Lindsey Graham in the Clinton impeachment trial over and over saying that you don't need an underlying crime, it was devastating for him, and it's why I think he left the room.
What do you think? Yeah, everyone kept saying he wasn't there. Yeah. Susan, what do you make of it? I mean, should the Republicans just drop this already?
Well, again, we talk about the effect it has on the president and who it's playing to. This is playing to conservative media. So these clips kind of go to Donald Trump's base. It's like when we talked about the impeachment hearings, who got a better grade, the Democrats or the Republicans. They both did a good job playing to their audiences because those are the clips that are going to run, like I said, on conservative media. So that'll make the president happy. And when the president's happy, I guess Lindsey Graham's happy. They're all good.
Look, I have to ask this, though. Are the Democrats, and I'd love for you both to weigh in on this, but are the Democrats setting themselves up? Because for every soundbite that you can find of perhaps Lindsey Graham saying something different, some of the Democrats felt very differently when Bill Clinton was being impeached. And I imagine that the Republicans may try to use similar tactics to sort of say, well, wait a minute, you sung a different tune in the 90s.
Well, Matt Gaetz certainly hopes that Republicans will come out and use more videos after he criticized them last night. But, I think Democrats are doing something that's really smart. They're taking the clips and using them against Republicans because we don't have witnesses yet, and we don't know if we'll have witnesses.
Sure.
And so allowing these video clips to come in is a way to get witnesses kind of through a backdoor testimony. And it's been really smart, I think really effective, and I think it's why you see Republicans kind of disjointed on whether or not we're going to have witnesses and kind of what we want to have next. Ted Cruz says one thing, now you're hearing Blackburn say another. It's a mixed bag, and I think that shows that Republicans don't know what to do.
Susan, question for you, because I asked Danny this, and as a lawyer, he said you always want to go first. As a defense attorney, it's really tough to sit there and watch the prosecution put out this whole case, and you just absolutely can't do anything. But I have to wonder, from a strategic point of view, couldn't the president's lawyers, couldn't they be sitting here and thinking or watching and saying, okay, well, you did this and that didn't play well with the public, or that didn't play well with the Senate, and we're going to change our strategy a little bit to do something more effective? Can they learn and benefit from the prosecution going first?
You can always learn it, and there's always certain things that they're going to be able to do to pick apart something, because no one gives a perfect delivery.
Sure.
But for the most part, the Democrats have so far been so disciplined on their message. And here's the problem for the president's team. Are you doing a legal defense, or are you doing the Trump defense? Because Trump says everything was perfect. That's not necessarily the best legal defense.
Yep.
So that's where the kind of conflict comes in.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.